We know why you're back. It's for Week 10 picks against the spread here on Lit Sports Online. We're continuing the series, and let's see what the results are.
Mine are better than yours. Tell us, Chris.
So, to recap, as far as this far into the season, Gerald is on top once again, has a 2-game lead. I'm in second. Justin is still in third, but last week he was behind first place by 5 games. He's now only behind 4. So he's slowly creeping up while I kind of drop back a little bit, but hopefully we'll see those numbers rearrange a little bit, and Gerald will lose his top spot once and for all.
Not gonna happen, Slim.
All right, we'll see. So that leads us into our Thursday night game. We have the Seattle Seahawks, who just came off of, I would say, disappointing home loss against the Washington Redskins, going to Arizona. Arizona is a +5 at home.
Wow, a +5, huh? Yeah, this is really tough. I think I'm still going to go with Seattle, though. I mean, we look at what happened with the Redskins game. A lot of that, I think, fell on the kicker, missing 3 field goals. I don't think he's going to miss 3 field goals again.
It is Blair Walsh, so.
Well, I mean, he was pretty consistent before that. So I like Blair Walsh to actually come back here and have a normal kicker performance instead of missing 3. And I think it's enough for the Seahawks to win with maybe a touchdown margin.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Seahawks this week. I think they can at least pull a touchdown win. I don't see why that would be an issue here. Yes, they're playing away, but same time zone. Maybe they can figure out what's going on with their kicker. Maybe they can get a good victory here. I mean, how the hell did they lose to the Redskins? That caught me off guard. I'm not even going to lie.
Justin summed it up perfectly.
What?
They lost by 2 points. You make 3 field goals.
Point shaving.
You now win by 7.
Point shaving.
Like I said, blame on the kicker. You can't blame the offense for putting you in field goal range. And you're not talking 55-yarders. You're talking a 29-yarder or 35-yarder. So easily makeable kicks. But I'm going to go with Seattle as well. I mean, touchdown, I think it's a bounce-back game. Even though Arizona did win against the Niners, they did play the Niners. Mm-hmm. So I just don't think that Arizona has enough to keep up with it. Plus, I mean, Seattle has a good defense. So you're talking about holding the Redskins to less than 18 points. And they usually do that. They usually hold teams below 20 points on average. So I don't think that if the Cardinals, I don't see them getting more than maybe 13 or.
And it might be tough for Peterson to run, which sucks for me in fantasy, by the way, because he's my flex. But sometimes you got to just roll out your workhorse and see what happens.
It's funny. Justin's the same person that totally denied that. You remember that my bold prediction a few weeks ago. Now he's got him on his fantasy squad.
You did say Adrian Peterson would go off,
and he went off. And now Justin has him on his fantasy team.
But will he go off this week?
Well, he's still behind me in fantasy, so who cares?
All right. So that leads us into our slot of 1 o'clock games. First, we have the New York Jets going to Tampa. Tampa is a -4.5 at home. Now, obviously, Tampa is -4.5 without a Jameis Winston.
Why are they -4.5? Give me the Jets all day on this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? Playoffs? Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs? No, give me the Jets. I mean, for crying out loud. Okay, yes, Fitz magic. We all know that he'll have those magical moments every once in a blue moon where he has 4 or 5 touchdown passes, but most of the time, he's not good, all right? So you got McCown versus Fitzpatrick, and I think the Jets have the better defense here. So you're giving them the plus? Are you kidding me? Give me the Jets all day.
Without the animation.
I'm still trying to get over what just happened here.
Woo! Yeah, wow. Without the animation, I'm going with the Jets. I'm sorry, without Jameis Winston, there's just no way Tampa's covering that. And I'm pretty sure they're probably going to lose. So, yeah, let's go with the Jets.
Yeah, I think Tampa was already somewhat of a broken team and didn't live up to early expectations. So, with their quarterback and, essentially their leader out, I think it's just only going to add to the turmoil. I'm going to roll with the Jets here, +4.5. I would probably even think they win straight up. So, yeah. Then it leads us into another AFC matchup. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Indy. Now, Indy is a +9.5 at home, implying that Steelers would have to win by 10. Justin, how do you feel about this one?
I'll actually roll the dice with Indy at home and see what happens here. I mean, +9.5 is a pretty decent margin. It is going to be a struggle for the Colts to actually try to win the game, with it being the Steelers, but crazy things can happen when a good team goes on the road. road and plays a team, they might, get more than what they bargained for. Let's find out.
Yeah, this is a tough one. That 9-point spread, that's a pretty deep spread. And again, it's against the Colts. And Jacoby Brissett, as we saw last week, didn't do too bad. Now, albeit it wasn't against the Pittsburgh Steelers, still, they showed up and they came to play. So, you know what? Honestly, I'm going to take a risk here. And I'm going to roll the dice, and I'm going to go with the Colts and pray to God that they can help the Ravens' playoff chances by beating the Steelers this weekend.
I'm going to go with the Steelers. I just don't like the Colts.
He's a smart one.
I just don't like the Colts at all. You can say there's a bunch of distractions when it comes to Pittsburgh, but I just think the offense is too high-powered at times. And I think, despite what Ben has been showing, these bad outings have been against good defenses. They have been against the Jaguars, so and other great defenses. So I think this is going to be the week where he may throw 2-3 touchdown passes. I definitely have them winning maybe by 10 to 14 points. It may be close, maybe at halftime, but I think they'll end up pulling it out. Then let's get into not my favorite team, but one team that I'm most excited about this year. Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints going to Buffalo. Buffalo is a +1.5 at home.
Essentially a pick'em game.
Essentially, well, technically not. 21-20 wouldn't cover the spread, but...
Well, I mean, we all thought that Buffalo was going to make short work of the Jets, and clearly that didn't happen, and that was at home, by the way, for them. So, or actually, no, it wasn't, was it?
No,
it wasn't at home. But anyways, point is, they just came off of a division rivalry loss, and now they're playing the Saints. I would like to see a bigger spread here if I'm going to pick the Bills. It's just not wide enough for me. I'm going to take my chance with the high-powered offense of the Saints.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Saints, too. I think Drew Brees has enough offensive power to overpower Buffalo at home. And I just don't see... I mean, it's going to be, again, this is a very close spread. So this could go either way. But I just think Drew Brees is going to be the X factor this weekend.
Said it for 3 weeks straight, guys. You know what it is?
What?
Drew Brees. They're easily winning this game. Double digits. I'm calling it.
I'm telling you, they're the most rated team right now.
Justin pointed out their defense, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago. But the reason why I like the Saints so much is it's not about them relying on Drew Brees to throw 40 passes a game. They're actually about running the ball. His pass attempts are actually down. Like, if he's projected the way he's going, he's going to throw 800 less pass attempts than what he was the previous 3 years. So I like the way they're going. They're actually playing solid defense. I just like the Saints and what they're doing this year.
Yeah, I don't know that it's going to be that wide just because the Bills still do have a decent defense, but
they did lose by double digits.
And it's outside of Dome, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I definitely think the Saints should be the favorites.
All right, so then leads us into an NFC North matchup. We have the Green Bay Packers and Brett Hundley going to Chicago. Chicago is a -3 at home. So you have Brett Hundley versus Mitch Trubisky.
I've picked against the Bears too many times. I'm going to actually take them here.
Oh, wow.
I know it's -3, but, I mean, that Chicago defense been stepping it up. And I think as long as they... I don't know. The Bears have defied logic for me these past couple weeks. And I think it's time to actually get on board and pick them for a game. So that's what I'm going to do here.
Yeah. Green Bay, I bet you regret getting rid of my boy Taysom Hill by now. Probably not. Whatever. I love Taysom, man. You deserve a better shake.
Speaking
of
BYU, how they doing this year?
Oh, God, here we go.
2-8?
I'm done with you. We'll wait and see how Dallas Cowboys do without Ezekiel Elliott. But again, back to the game at hand. Green Bay is struggling. Green Bay is a barren village that has nothing to offer right now. And honestly, I think Chicago is definitely going to run away with a pretty impressive victory here this week. There's too many injuries. There's too many factors that are just out of whack right now. And I honestly think Mitch Trubisky and the Chicago Bears are somehow going to pull off a miracle this weekend.
Yeah, I think you guys raised a good point. I think Wisconsin, when they have Aaron Rodgers, is known for football. Mm-hmm. When he's hurt and when he's not on the field, they're known for cheese.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna roll with the Bears here. I just don't think that the Packers have enough offensive firepower.
None.
You just released Martellus Bennett, so now you
Patriots got him.
Yep, you lose it. So now you're talking about a quarterback. Now he's been in the league for a couple years, but this is his like consistent string of starts. You're talking about losing another offensive weapon, another veteran that's been there. You know, it is going to hurt him. And, you know, the injuries along the offensive line are obvious to everyone, so I'm not going to point those out. But you're talking about taking away somebody's weapons. Like, if I didn't feel bad for, or I didn't have a second guess about Deshaun Watson, or at the time before he got hurt, you had DeAndre Hopkins, you had Will Fuller, you had a Fedorowicz, the tight end, before he got hurt. You know, you had weapons. But you look in Green Bay, and it's just like, okay, you have no offensive line to protect them, and you got Jordy Nelson. You know, you got Randall Cobb still kind of banged up. You got the other Ty Montgomery still coming off of his injury 2 to 3 weeks ago to those same Bears. So I'm gonna roll with Chicago here at home. Then it leads us into the Minnesota Vikings going on the road into Washington to play the Redskins. Redskins are a +2.5 at home.
I'm taking Redskins easy. I like the +2.5. I like that they're at home. I like that they just beat the Seahawks. Why the heck not take the Redskins? I'm taking them here.
Because they're the Redskins, and they keep shooting themselves in the foot.
That pick was the most straight to the point.
That was
answer I've
straight
ever
to the
heard.
point. I've never heard such one from Justin without animation or flair. Woo! Anyways, nonetheless, I don't know, man. I can't confidently pick the Redskins. I mean, yes, last week they pulled off an impressive victory that caught me off guard. But for some reason, in most of their losses, it's always a loss where they just shoot themselves in the foot. I mean, honestly, they may even get Kirk Cousins on discount when the offseason comes. They have to try to find a way to pay this boy. But
he'll get his money from
he's
somebody.
gonna get his money from somebody, but I don't know if he's gonna be the Redskins. But nonetheless, I think the Vikings might pull off a good victory here this weekend.
I just don't understand why the Redskins are being spotted points here. I mean, if anything, it should be a straight pick 'em, in my opinion. But whatever. Redskins for me.
The reason I think
More the
why
Vikings.
the Redskins are spotted points is because when you look at their season, just like Gerald said, they've been on and off almost every other game. You beat a solid Rams team and then you lose, and then you the trend follows. The trend goes that they're set up to lose this week. So that may be why they're getting points. But I'm going to roll with Minnesota on the road. I just think that their defense is going to be able to pressure Kirk Cousins, and I just think that they're going to be able to handle. Because when you look at Minnesota, they put up points every drive and maybe field goals, but when you have a team that at least puts up 3 points every time they touch the ball, I kind of like those odds.
Well, I don't know. I feel like the Redskins might be able to cover the Vikings receivers, and I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's why you're in last place.
That and also he's saying it's because he's wearing a Rams, so that he knows how it feels to get beat by him.
So, anyway, let's go to our next game. It's an AFC matchup. We have the Los Angeles Chargers going to Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville is a -3.5 at home.
Yeah, I'm taking the Jaguars -3.5. They're at home. They got what I believe is the best defense in the league. Not that hard to pick, really, for me.
Yeah, straight up, no explanation needed. Jaguars, they're at home. It's the Chargers. Might as well be a JV Ohio State team. It's the Chargers. Let's keep it moving.
I'm going to go with Jacksonville at home. I got them winning by at least a touchdown, but I do not like Jalen Ramsey for the Jaguars. He's a little suspect.
We're going to leave it at that.
I need everybody to go watch his post-game interview after the Bengals game. Please do that. But yeah, I'm going to roll with Jacksonville at home here. You tell me I only got to win by 4, so yeah, I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
I'm glad I tagged you in that post.
Yeah. That leads us into an AFC-NFC matchup. Now, could this be the week that the Browns cover a spread and win something for Justin? Is he going to pick them? Cleveland is a +9.5 in Detroit. Justin, how do you feel about this one? I'm curious to hear your decision.
No, I'm not playing with that. I'm picking the Lions.
He's sober, ladies and gentlemen. He's sober.
No, I'm picking the Lions because, and I'll admit there is a biased reason to it a little bit. I actually did start the Lions defense in one of my fantasy leagues. Full disclosure, but also you just look at the fact that the Browns are coming into Detroit Stadium here. I don't really think they're going to be able to run the ball on this defense. What we're probably going to see, honestly, in this game is a lot of little dump-offs to Duke Johnson. Maybe he breaks one for a touchdown, and that's like the only score they get. Like, that's probably what's going to happen here, and the line's just going to run away with it.
The Browns, no, what? They don't even, no. There's no way in the world they win. If they win by some miracle, I will buy the whole LitTube team drinks. Drinks on me if the Browns somehow fucking win.
But the thing is,
there's no way they're gonna win.
And it's not in the dog pound. It's not in the dog pound. It's away.
They're away in Detroit. No, Detroit with the victory.
The thing is, Gerald, they don't have to win. They just gotta lose by 9 or less.
Can I read?
I'm gonna roll with Cleveland.
Can I pull that bet back?
I'm gonna roll with Cleveland. I feel like they don't lose by 10. I feel like they keep it close. They may score a garbage TD at the end.
I feel like they do, though.
I'm going to roll with Cleveland, losing by 7 or 8. 28-20.
Don't make the mistake I made in London. Don't make the same mistake.
Well, the good thing is about it, even if I slip up on a couple picks, you'll still be in last place. So, but yeah, I say Cleveland covers the spread this week. Then we have the Cincinnati Bengals going to Tennessee. Cincy is a plus 3.5 in Tennessee or on the road, implying that Tennessee would have to win by 4.
You know what?
This guy.
Let's actually take the Bengals this week. Let's just do it. Let's take the Bengals and see what happens. I mean, they got the plus 3.5. You know, it shouldn't be too hard for Dalton to connect with Green this week, I don't think. I mean, it's not the Jaguars we're talking about. Maybe some magic happens for the Bengals this week. So I'm going to take the Bengals, and we're going to see what happens, folks.
This man loves the lower AFC North. I swear to God. I don't know what it is. This man loves the lower AFC North. Cool, man. Whatever works for you. When I'm hoisting whatever championship we have at the end of this season, because I'm still number 1, I will remember that pick. Because the Titans are going to cover this and more. No, it's the Bengals, man. There's no way. Let's be honest here. Titans just played the Ravens. And, I mean, it was a pretty good game, I think.
Gerald compares everything to the Ravens.
I know. What's with the recency bias, man? It's a new game. It's a new week.
Is that coincidental or not? Like, he sets, like, his standard as when teams play the Ravens. Like,
allow me to elaborate.
Allow me to reintroduce yourself to a country named London.
All right. Nonetheless, the Titans are going to win. They're going to cover this spread easily. It's the Bengals. I don't think they're a legitimate squad right now. And no matter what Justin in his 1996 sweatsuit says, the Bengals are for sure going to are going to lose this weekend.
He got that from Kurt Warner. But I'm gonna roll with
Hall of Fame standard.
The greatest show on turf. I'm gonna roll with Tennessee here. I just like their team. I can't trust Cincinnati. That's basically it. I don't have any stats to back it up. I just can't trust what that offense does and what it can produce week to week. Once I see some consistency, I may be going with the big kitty cats maybe one day. But
the lower AFC North.
Yep. Speaking of
the Rams.
Of his tracksuit, we're gonna go with the Rams. We have the Houston Texans coming to LA. Now, obviously, Houston is without their biggest star, Deshaun Watson, now, and LA is a -3 at home. LA obviously just blew out the New York Giants, but
yeah. Anyone on the panel picking against my Rams this week? That's what I thought. Yeah, we're taking the Rams.
This man's been silent for years. I've known this kid for over a decade. And finally, he can be a proud Rams fan. This week, I will pick the Rams. But again, let's not get too cocky, Justin. When the hell's the last time the Rams have done anything? Not taken away from what they did, nonetheless. But let's be honest here, buddy. You guys, this is I don't know what this is. I don't know what team you guys stole and put in Rams jerseys. But somehow they're doing the thing this year, and they're definitely going to be an NFC playoff contender. But I'm going to Rams this week.
That little comment that Justin made was a little savage.
Does it make you want to pick the Texans?
No, hold on.
Does it make you want to pick the Texans?
It was a little savage. And the Texans have a player named Tom Savage who will be starting this week. So maybe I want to be a little savage, but I'm not an idiot. I'm going to go with the Rams here. I mean, it's an easy pick. I mean, what LA's doing right now is just great.
It's amazing.
Sean McVay is revitalizing that team. I like the way they're playing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's going to be maybe a different story when the playoffs come. You know, they haven't been there a while. We'll see how it happens. But I like the Rams this week, no doubt. Then we have my Dallas Cowboys. Obviously, we just heard the news about Zeke. He just got denied, so his suspension is starting this week. He won't be back until December 24th against the Seahawks. But we have Dallas going to Atlanta. It's probably why Dallas is a +3 on the road. But, Justin, how do you feel about this one?
So Dallas going to Atlanta?
Dallas is going to Atlanta with 3 points.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that. I'll go with the Cowboys here.
Damn right you will.
The Falcons are actually coming off of losing to the Panthers at a time where it looked like the Panthers were having bad momentum. But they still managed to lose that game. And now you can have what is probably a better team in the Cowboys come into your stadium. And I think I actually like the Cowboys to win straight up. But the +3 is always sweet when you're betting on spreads. So I think that's a safe pick.
Yeah, wow. The fact that Ezekiel Elliott is done until, end December?
In December, I think he comes back week 15 or week 16.
So virtually you missed the rest of the regular season.
And arguably the most important part of the season.
But they still have a running back. I mean, it's not like they don't have a running back.
They still have a set of backs, but...
Yeah, exactly. It's not like... Wow, man, you are really excited.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't have a running game. It's not like you took away the running back and the quarterback, Dak and Zeke. No, they still have weapons. They still have receivers. I'm going with Dallas this weekend. They're going to make it work.
It's funny how you guys still pick my team, but it's an easy pick for me.
Look at this guy.
We're going with Dallas, as always. I'll never pick against them. It's just because they're a great team. Their defense is playing great. The defensive line is playing amazing. You have 2 pass rushers that actually get to the quarterback. You're talking about holding this Kansas City Chiefs team to half of their average for the season. That's huge.
It is.
Sean Lee is healthy. I like it. You got week 12 and week 13. You got 2 defensive players coming back off of suspension. So we'll see what happens then. But I think if they can keep the ship afloat for the rest of the season until Zeke comes back to make a wild card playoff run, because I don't think they're winning the division. I think Philly's got that wrapped up. I will be realistic about that. But I think it's easy for them to take care of that. I got Dallas, like I said, even if they lose 21-20, 23-21, I still win this bet. So I'm going to go with Dallas +3 on the road.
This is the moment he waits for week to week. He wakes up Thursday mornings, and he's like, man, I just cannot wait to talk about the Cowboys.
Yeah, if that was the only game we picked, that'd be fine with me. But
probably could have a whole episode.
So that's going to lead us into another NFC matchup. Now we have the New York Giants, sorry team, facing arguably a more sorry team. We have the San Francisco 49ers, essentially a pick'em game. It's +1, -1. New York Giants on the road, +1. Justin.
I'm going to take the 49ers just because they're at home. I think it's one of those things where it's like, you got 2 bad teams playing each other. What's the X factor? Maybe it's home field advantage. Who knows? But that's what I'm going to roll with here. 49ers.
Honestly, if the 49ers... No, screw it. There's no explanation for this. The 49ers are going to win. The Giants are a joke of the NFL right now. Between them and the Browns, I don't know who's going to get the first pick in the first round. But the Giants are going to pick up a win here, especially that far away from home. No, the 49ers are somehow going to make it happen. Maybe they'll throw even in Garoppolo at the end. I don't freaking know. But you know what? Honestly, there's no way the Giants are going to go into San Francisco and pull off that big of a victory. Even by 1 point.
I don't think it's that big of a victory. I just think it's just...
victory for this team is big.
Who is going to suck less? And I think the Giants will suck less. If Garoppolo's playing, then I would pick the Niners. But if C.J. Beathard is...
if Garoppolo's playing, no question.
I'm gonna pick the Giants here, just so I can differentiate between you two, so I can maybe make up some ground in the standings. But, yeah, I mean, you're talking about what team will just not shit the bed or come out and lay the biggest egg. I'll go with Eli here.
Better hope Odell gets his ass back on the field then.
That ain't happening.
I'm going to go with Eli here. I'm going to hope that one of his eyes is looking in the direction of one of his receivers this week. So
maybe his problem is he just keeps looking for Odell and can't find him, and he's just like, just throwing picks. Like that's probably what his issue is. He can't lock into his guy. His guy is gone. What's he gonna do?
He's trying to throw it to the hospital down the street. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Giants here, just to differentiate between the two, just to make up some ground in the standings. And like I said, another winless team. I don't see them. Maybe if they were getting more points, I would pick them, but no. So that leads us into our Sunday night game. We have the New England Patriots, who are rolling this month. You know, started off the season kind of shaky. Their defense kind of porous, but they've been actually able to stop teams in the red zone. Facing a shaky Denver Broncos team on the decline. Denver is a +7 at home in the Mile High Stadium.
Yeah, you're not tempting me with that, though, because last time I checked...
Did I not say it right?
They're rolling out Osweiler. Like, are you kidding? Why did you do that? Why did you bring back Osweiler? But even if they try to pull him last second and put Semyon in, it doesn't really matter who they play at quarterback. It's the Patriots. And yes, it's a 7-point spread. But honestly, I like the Patriots to get it done this week. I think they can win by 10, 13, maybe 2 touchdowns. I don't think it's that tall of an order for the Patriots to go in there and do that.
Patriots. Chris.
Yeah, I made the mistake of picking the Broncos last week. We all saw how that worked out, but I'll go with Patriots. Enough said.
Done.
Then we have our last game of the week. We have a Monday night game. We have the Miami Dolphins, which is kind of funny because both of you guys picked up each of their running backs in the fantasy league. Going to Carolina. Now, that's a bit of a large spread. Carolina is -7.5 at home.
They're what?
Carolina is -7.5 at home.
Yeah, that is a pretty wide spread given Carolina. But I'm gonna go with Carolina anyway, just because like Carolina's got a good run defense. You know, I could see a situation where the Dolphins are trying to run the ball with their 2 running backs and can't get it done. It's a lot different than playing the Raiders. We all know the Raiders have a lot of holes with their defense. This team, I don't feel that way. If they can't get the run going, they got to. I just don't think their offense is going to do much, Miami, in this game. So I can easily see Panthers winning this by like 10 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Panthers. As much as I need my running back to really step up this week. Yeah, for sure. I think the Panthers for sure are gonna cover that spread and some. They're at home. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, I think Cam, he seems to have one good game, one bad game. So I'm going to say he has a good game here. I'm going to say they win by 10 or 14 points. Like I said, I just don't think Justin summed it up perfectly. Miami can't get the run game going. I don't believe in Jay Cutler.
Exactly. There ain't a question in my mind.
I believed him when he played at Vanderbilt. That's about it. But I'm going to roll with Carolina here at home.
Jeez, how long ago was that?
It's a couple years ago.
Years.
So that's it? That's all our games?
That's all of the games. We have obviously a couple teams on bye, so that sums it up, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm sure Gerald's looking forward to next week calling the Ravens game. But for right now, they're on a bye, are they not? So
they can't lose.
Yeah,
can't lose. There's no way they can lose.
Because we can count the losses if you want.
Gotta love bye weeks, huh?
Let's see what happens when teams start picking apart you guys without seed. But, nonetheless, just keep them moving. We'll see.
But that's going to do it for the show this week. We're going to keep doing this week, all the way going through the regular season. So feel free to keep tuning into us for these picks. Make sure to comment. Let us know what we're doing wrong. Like the video, dislike the video, whatever. Just do something. And we'll respond to your comments, by the way. So, yeah, stay tuned.
And also, don't forget to tune into our other videos. We're actually bringing, again, we have more stuff planned. Man, we have a lot of stuff planned. Yeah. But nonetheless, more to come about that. Talk your shit. But we'll explain that a little bit later.